Okay, while I have some peace and quiet, let's go over rendering the nose. This thing will also stay focusing. Okay, so something to keep in mind is that remember everything in the body, everything that we are, can be broken down into basic shapes. For the nose here, we're going to go to our old friend, Mr. Triangle. The basic shape of the nose is the triangle. And to push that further on, focus, there we go. You clear? Okay. To push that more to the forefront, I'm going to draw 3 triangles. Front, profile, which is also called side view, but let's be professional here and call it the profile view because that's what it is. And see, the two of them are just 2 different kinds of triangles. And then, of course, there is 3/4, which is not quite a triangle, but more a triangular prism. Okay, so let's try to take this step by step. What if I should do a time lapse? So, going for the front one first, because that is both the easiest and the hardest. Okay, a lot of things in drawing the body can be melted down to that. I'm going to draw a triangle here. And on our lower 2 angles, we are going to draw circles. Now, the size of these circles will determine the size of the nostrils. So keep in mind that this is only a baseline, and this does not necessarily mean that this is how you draw every nose. This is just a certain kind of nose. So from here, we're going to start on our line for the original triangle, go down, around our circle, and then we're going to hook in. This is what makes it the actual hole of the nostril. We'll go down a bit. And it's like the lip, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to mirror it. And just say, well, let's add a little bit of bump here. Now, looks more like an alien than a nose, admittedly. That's where you use old friend Mr. Eraser. Once you have this down, you are going to erase the triangle that is beneath all these lines. Even most of this. Do some fine tuning. And you have a nose. And from here, you can hook into the little dip in your lip. Put on a little bit of shading. And there you go. You have your nose and lips. And just over here, we'd actually begin into the eyes. Now, keep in mind that this, once again, does not mean this goes for every nose. Some noses are thinner. Put this up so you can see it. Come on, focus, focus. There we go. Some noses are thinner. Some are fatter. Some have small nostrils. Some have large nostrils. But it all comes down to the same thing. Also keep in mind that the shape and size of the nostrils can change in very subtle ways depending on the emotion. For example, if someone is angry, the nostrils are going to be more flared, more open, and thus make it look larger, because in an angry state, you are breathing in more. Almost too much, even. Once you have this down, you gotta do more things, such as, let's see here, what can we do here? Adding a piercing. Lord knows there are all sorts of places you can get a nose piercing. That's something that goes to the nostril like that just really makes you twitch. Something on the side, I guess, is fine. Or a septum ring if you want one of those. Say your body, your choice, and anything, but you got facial hair. Remember that everything in the body comes at a curve of some sort. And always remember your shading. A little goes a long way. And there you go, that's drawing from the front view. Profile view. This is the one that everyone thinks is easy because they're really only drawing one side of the face, when in truth that easiness is just a clever cover for being the hardest thing to draw. A lot of people make the same mistakes. They draw eyes too big, or they draw eyes as if they are forward-facing, and the nose just tends to end up being an arrow, when really it's just as rounded as anything else. Especially the nose, really, since it's cartilage, not bone. So, once again, place a circle. And this time we're going to take this angle here, and we're going to round it down. We're just going to sand it down. Use the same hook method. We leave a little more line, get some more of that roundness of the nostril. Once again, this does not qualify for every nose. This is just a baseline. Now, what you have here, another common mistake I see people do is that, okay, here's the bottom of the nose, here's the nostril lip right here. No, do not do this. This is some ancient Egyptian nonsense there from hieroglyphics. There's still going to be that little bit of space before it turns into the bottom lip. Once again, keep in that shading. And generally your eye will be going around here. Oh, what's that? The eye is not drawn as a circle? Yeah, well, we'll get to that part hopefully tomorrow. Okay, we're going to wrap this up with the 3/4 view. The 3/4 view is a little easier. In fact, a lot of times, I'll admit, I don't use the basic shape method. That's only because I've been doing it a long time. A lot of people, for some reason, like to do noses in the 3/4 view like this, or this. Or a lot of people that like to use the anime style will do it like this, which they're all valid in one way or another, but if you're trying to get to it for realistic or just a little more anatomically correct, don't rely on just what's essentially an angle. So taking our prism here, we just do the same thing again, except this time I got a little more curve at the bottom because of how it connects to the upper lip. Still using our circle method. Now, how far this line goes out really depends on several things. Just genetics, race. Some people it goes out quite a bit, others not so much. Don't mind that, that's just an email. You see here, it still connects like it does everywhere else. In which case, yeah, I've noticed that everything here is kind of big lips here. Draw what you know at first. Now, depending on the angle, you can get a little bit of a nostril, but do not put too much in there because then you make it seem like one nostril is way bigger than the other. And in terms of this setup, the rest of the face will appear around here. And there you have it. Once again, add any little details you want, freckles, hair. If someone wants a spruce handlebar mustache, keep in mind that the mustache just comes from under the nostrils, not out of them. All sorts of things to do here. And there we have it. That is the nose. As always, practice makes perfect. Practice on your own time. Look at the mirror, look at your own nose, look at your family. Turn anyone around you into a model. Drawing all sorts of different people rather than just what you know helps immensely. Now tomorrow we will go into the eyes, and that is a whole nother bucket of fish. Mr. Scott, signing out.